SOP for actioning safety alerts. Now, as you can see, I've done this in a slightly different format. It's in a mind map format. I found that this sort of like helps with the remembering process rather than me individually going through each and every document. So as you can see, it's generally sorry, that's a spelling mistake there. Safe. Oops. There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can probably see there's several parts to this. Okay, there's the background, there's the purpose of the SOP, there's a scope, the responsibility, the known risks, and we've got an appendix here. And I'm going to briefly go over each and every part with you, so at least that way you are familiar with the SOP. Now, basically, what the safety alerts are is that it was introduced on the 1st of January 2003, and it replaces the previous types of safety warnings. So you've got a variety of different safety warnings here. So essentially what this is that every time, for example, the MHRA or other body discovers that there's something wrong with a product, it will issue something called a safety alert. Now, if you look at underneath here, it says there are 4 different types of safety alerts. There's 1 to 4. Class 1 is the most critical. For example, a serious mislabeling, microbial contamination, or incorrect ingredients that requires an immediate recall. Class 4 is the least critical and advises caution in use. So there's 4 different types. The Class 1 is the most important. The Class 4 is the least important, but doesn't mean it's not important. It still needs to be actioned, but it's the least urgent, shall we say. Okay, so the purpose of this particular SOP, as you can see here, is to ensure that the safety alerts that are sent to the pharmacy are actioned, and to ensure that there's an auditable trail for each safety alert and what the pharmacy has done as a result. The auditable trail is really important, because if an inspector were to walk in and say, well, what have you done with this particular product, or if, say, for example, you gave out a product that was recalled, then you can actually go back to the auditable trail and say, look, you know what, I did action this. It might have been human error that it was left out, or something like that. So the scope of the project, it really covers the processes by which each of the safety notices are actioned. These alerts can be from a multitude of different sources, including MHRA, manufacturers, and the NPSA, now currently under the NHS Commissioning Board Special Health Authority. So you can get these sorts of alerts coming from a variety of different sources. Now, this is essentially the bulk of the SOP. So really what we need to make sure is that each action, so each safety action is actioned, each safety alert is actioned. Let's quickly go over each bit in turn. So all recalls or alerts must be actioned by the pharmacy. In the event of an immediate or class 1, remember that's the most important one, or most urgent one, recall, the alert must be actioned before the pharmacy opens for trade. Any stock or product that has been recalled or quarantined must be placed in a box that is then sealed to prevent inadvertent sale or dispensing. The sealing is really, really important. That way it will prevent the mice from getting into it. No, seriously, it will prevent you from accidentally picking up the stock. A copy of the alert is then attached to the box for further instructions are given with regards to the recall. Records of all alerts must be kept, and this can be used in the form of Appendix 1. Now, in your SOP you should have Appendix 1. That's this bit here. I'll quickly go over that with you in a minute. And the actual alert is then signed, dated, filed for future reference. So this is an example of the safety record sheet. So you've got things like the alert reference number, you've got the date it was received, the date and time it was actioned, the action that was taken. So for example, was the stock taken off, was it just for information or anything like that, and you've also got the initials and date. So okay, that is the very quick one with regards to actioning safety alerts. Hopefully you are now trained on that. If there's any other questions, then obviously ask your pharmacist with regards to this.